Life happens, you age gracefully, and your style changes. So if you got married with a typical gold band, you may be ready to change it up and get something that feels more you now as opposed to you then. Well, if you're like me, maybe you've gained some weight and the old one doesn't quite fit right, or you've decided to renew your vows and get new wedding rings in the process. Either way, what happens to your original ring? Here are 7 ways to repurpose your wedding band. Well, you have a wedding band you don't wear anymore, but what should you do with it? Before you go for a 3-pointer into the trash, I have a few ideas you might not have thought of yet. But why would somebody stop wearing their wedding ring? If you're like 50% of Americans, it may have to do with weight changes. Well, we all put on a little weight as we get older, and our bodies change even though we didn't eat that entire batch of lumpia by ourselves. I'm looking at you, Warren. But when you gain weight, your pant size changes, so does your ring size. Luckily, if you think your ring is getting a little tight, you can repurpose it and in some cases get it resized. Or maybe you're champions of love and you want to renew those wedding vows and get a completely new band while you're at it. When it's time to repurpose your wedding band, you have options. One is to modify it into a new ring, another piece of jewelry, or create stunning modern art. Depending on the material the band is made of, you might be able to have your band remade entirely, not just resized. If you're renewing your vows, add a symbol of your love into your new band. What do you think of when you talk about your partner and your relationship? Create a ring around that image. It can incorporate something as small as an engraving or a symbolic phrase or design you've picked up along your journey. It'll merge your past with the present and you won't have to buy a new ring altogether. For instance, if you're no longer together but have kids together and plan to co-parent, one thing we've seen couples do is to use the gold from their band to create a dad or a mom ring with or without birthstones that you wear on your other hand to symbolize your commitment to your kids. Or maybe you'd rather create other pieces of jewelry out of that old band. Some people still want to wear it close to their heart, and the easiest way to do that is to repurpose your wedding ring into a necklace. You can literally just put it on a chain or have it melted down and made into a pendant that fits onto a chain. And if necklaces aren't your thing, you can use diamonds or the inlay from your old ring for a bracelet. Your melted down ring might have enough metal to create a cool bar for the front of the bracelet. Or turn your ring into earrings, have it melted down and turned into 2 half-moon shapes, or whatever cool design you come up with. How about making an entirely new ring by transforming it into a ring for a different finger, or move it to another body part like a toe, no other body parts. If you don't want to hold on to it, you could also pass it along as a family heirloom. Hold on to it for your kids, your nephew, or a godson. It'll be a nice gift when they have a love of their own or any other appropriate occasion. Plus, it'll feel like passing on a part of yourself to them while sharing a little piece of history. Don't be afraid to offer it to someone else you know either. If you're feeling charitable, whether it's a coworker, a really good friend, or a simple acquaintance, think about offering it as a gift to someone else who could really use the help. For those superhero love machines renewing their vows, it's going to be seen as an even nicer gesture. It'll be like sharing your luck,
if you know what I mean.
But Archie, what if I don't really want to transform my ring into another piece of jewelry, you might be asking yourself. You can make some pretty cool art. If you and your partner are upgrading your rings, now's the time to use your rings for something unique. Create a scrapbook or a shadow box of photos from your marriage ceremony. Add your rings into the artwork. Voila! You have created a modern art masterpiece. And I apologize to the French for that terrible, terrible accent. Or melt them down to create a handmade clock, pottery, or whatever speaks to your lovey-dovey soul. Whatever the reason for upgrading your ring, don't be afraid to just hold on to it for posterity or sell it to a local jeweler. Then you can replace it with a ring that fits your new life. And if you're looking for a new ring for an upgrade or to renew those vows, we have some super unique materials like dinosaur bone, meteorite, Jack Daniel's whiskey barrel, and so much more. Well, let's start you off by getting the right size for you. You can see more about that in this video right here. And if you're looking for inspiration on a new custom ring, here's a video showcasing a few ideas our recent customers designed right here. Till next time, Archie out. Renewal, renewal, jewel, renewal, renewed jewel, jeweler.